Hello, let's check out Enemy by Imagine Dragons featuring J.I.D. I actually looked up how to say J.I.D. to see if it was J.I.D. or JID, and I found an interview with him saying it can be pronounced either way or both ways. Although for this track I see that they have separated the letters out, so we'll go with J.I.D. I haven't seen the video for this track yet. I've heard the track several times when I was watching Arcane, but I haven't paid too much attention to the lyrics themselves. And this is a highly requested reaction. People have hinted at there being lots of Easter eggs in here, that there's additional backstory information, and that there's loads of blink and you've missed it moments. So I'm gonna have to try and pay attention, I think. So this is a first time reaction, meaning it's not going to be an analysis. Let's just see what my first impressions are, and then maybe if it requires it, we can make a second video going into some more detail. Ah, the last drop. Powder looking all glum. The band. Nice font. Nice fontage.
I wake up to the sounds of the silence that allows for my mind to run around with my ear up to the ground. I'm searching to behold the stories that I told when my back is to the world that was smiling when I turned. Tell you you're the greatest, but once you turn they hate us. Oh, the misery.
I mean, a minute in and there's just already so much I want to kind of just look at. I mean, we see them dancing as kids, that kind of innocence of youth, I guess. But then there's a bit where... No, not there. Here, look at them poking some kind of animal that they've caught. Poor thing. Don't poke and torment animals, although I don't know anything about that animal. It could be, I don't know. And this is the like the food place that Vi went to after coming out of Stillwater, isn't it? With Caitlin, where Caitlin was getting a bit frustrated that she thought Vi wasn't taking it seriously and just wanted to get something to eat. When I turn, how happy she looks playing with Echo. I love the way the words say, as you turn, they hate us, just as that. I think I can go back here. This guy turns. But I don't think he hates them. Actually, he actually helps Vi at some point, doesn't he? Because he gives her the slip of paper that tells her where to go. But maybe, I guess, if they're kids and they're not maybe paying for the food or they're messing about, making a mess. As a business owner, I'm guessing he's probably... could get a little bit angry. And then this is interesting. There's oh, I've not stopped that in a very good place. There's a firelight which came out of her mouth. So we know the firelights are kind of what Echo's group are named after. It's named after. I guess it's what the firelights represent. Kind of leaving Powder, I guess, like the just everything that she wants to stand for or would want to stand for, just again that kind of innocence of youth just leaving her. So we saw all of this footage up to this point of kids being kids, and now maybe this is like the start of the this is leaving me. And I paused at a really weird, oh, look at this. I mean, he's green. Or is it just green because of the background? So this is, you can see the purple hair there. So this shows pretty much exactly what I was just saying, which is the transition from Powder into Jinx. Tell you what, that must happen quick. Let's, if I rewind it, oh God, I'm going frame by frame. Let's just go back 5 seconds. That is quick. Now they're growing up. Vi's teaching them the fight.
Smell the sympathy. Everybody wants to be my enemy.
She's looking at that, her muscles. And how good she is.
My enemy. But I'm ready. Your words up on the wall as you're praying for my phone, and the laughter in the holes and the names that I've been called. I stack it in my mind and I'm waiting for the time when I show you what it's like to be worse bit.
Oh, that's interesting. That was interesting there, wasn't it? So I don't know if these are people that Powder knows and are beating someone up, but she doesn't, like, she's obviously not joining in, she's standing and watching, but she looks unhappy about the situation, which is interesting, isn't it? Because we just saw Echo giving the finger to the enforcers, and we know what the enforcers are like for people in the underground, but then I guess for Powder to see people from the underground doing it to people in the underground just shows how unsafe and how difficult times are down there. And for her, it's probably hard to understand that people will adapt in order to get their needs met, I guess. But she probably doesn't understand that perspective of it. She just sees the violence and how unsafe it is.
When I show you what it's like to be worse bit in the mind, tell you you're the greatest.
Milo running off to there.
Once you turn, they hate us.
Oh,
the misery.
there's another bit there, wasn't there? I think. So I like her giving the like the gun hand, because she's a good shot, isn't she? To be so there's Jinx. So where was Powder? Have I missed a bit? Okay, so we got Powder making the threat, making the kind of the action, and then we see her as Jinx, and we know Jinx does actually shoot someone, doesn't she? In I can't remember which episode it was. A girl with pink hair in the back, and again that she transitions back again. It's pretty cool. God, this really is blink and you miss it.
Oh, the misery. Everybody wants to be my enemy.
And shaken down by the enforcers. Now they're arguing. Yeah, so they're growing up, arguing. Tensions are high. So that's interesting, isn't it? So we talked earlier about how she's seeing how dangerous it is with other people in the underground because they're beating people up. But now she's getting a sense of danger from her sister as well. That wasn't, those what used to be nice friendly pillow fights or a bit of fun, and now arguments and actually kind of a source of a threat. Not maybe like a major threat, but like a minor threat at this point, but a kind of, maybe things aren't quite as safe as I thought they were. This is what happens quite often in people with trauma, is especially around PTSD, is we talk about this idea of shattering the core belief of that the world is a safe place, and bad things don't happen to me. They kind of happen to other people, and I know they happen, but they don't happen to me. And then when you start to see it, or it gets a bit close to home, or it does happen to you, it kind of shatters that core belief and your whole perception of the world.
Okay,
so this looks like I've been on buttons now because I've been doing frames. Okay.
Look. Okay, I'm hoping that somebody pray for me. I'm praying that somebody hope for me. I'm staying where nobody supposed to be. Posted, being a wreck of emotions. Ready to go whenever you let me know. The road is long, so put the pedal into the flow. The energy on my trail, my energy unavailable. I'ma tell him I still away go. They wanna fly on my drive.
That was cool. Got the colours, because there's this whole thing, isn't there, about eye colour. So like sometimes I set my lights to them with powder blue and is it Vi red or something like that. But I think there's loads of different things with eye colours, aren't there?
Hey, when I fly on my drive to the top, I've been out of shape, taking out the box, I'm an astronaut. I blasted off the planet, rock that caused catastrophic, and it matters more because I had it. Now I had, I thought about wreaking havoc on an opposition, kind of shocking. They want a static with precision. I'm automatic, quarterback, I ain't talking second packet.
What's with this? I've seen this a couple of times now, I think, in this X symbol. I don't know. I'm not sure what that's about.
I ain't talking second packet, pack it up on panic, batter up. Who the baddest? It don't matter because we is just.
What? That sounded insane. This isn't that Billy again. I'm sorry I keep stopping it. I'm just really excited to just, as I see it, I need to stop it. Otherwise, I'm going to lose track of what I'm seeing.
Now I had, I thought about wreaking havoc on an opposition, kind of shocking. They want a static with precision. I'm automatic, quarterback. I ain't talking second packet, pack it up on panic, batter up. Who the baddest? It don't matter because we is just.
Everybody wants to be my enemy. Spare the sympathy.
Wow, look, see that those eye colours change. And we had this bit as well with look, poor old Powder kind of banging her head, like, what's going on with me? I'm kind of not feeling great, and I'm being completely overwhelmed with everything that's going on for me and that I'm experiencing, and I don't like it, make it stop. But we had the eyes. Oh, did she sing along there? Wow, okay, spare the sympathy, and as the eyes are changing, her kind of her, what do you call it? Her, what's the word? Her transformation.
Spare the sympathy. Everybody wants to be my enemy. Oh, the misery. Everybody wants to be my enemy. My enemy, I swear I'll never be a saint, no way. My enemy, I swear I'll never be a saint. Look out for yourself.
Wow, okay, so can I go? Loads of stuff just no, not yet. Loads of stuff just happened there. What happened at the end there? We had all this. The way she sings that. This is an interesting thing, isn't it? So it's Powder banging on Jinx's face. Is this Jinx with a part of Powder inside her wanting to kind of be let out, trying to kind of break a way out, smash a way out, wanting, I don't know, maybe wanting that innocence again, or maybe not wanting to go through and to see what Jinx is experiencing again, as in it oh god, I got stuck there. It hurts the part that is Powder when Jinx does some of the things that she does. So the Powder's trying to break out. And this is a lovely shot, isn't it? This like it's we've got Jinx here as a protector of Powder. I mean, I thought she had her arm on her shoulder, but she doesn't. But she's obviously standing just behind her, looking over her, looking after her, and but like Powder's expression there is kind of like, yeah, what? Try it. But it still seems to suggest that there's still a part of Powder in here, and that Jinx is protecting that part, or has protected it in the past, or this is how it's come about, is this kind of adaptation to keep Powder safe. And I think this also shows us what we know that happens during childhood trauma. You develop protective mechanisms that work for you at the time. It's adaptive, you know, it makes sense. You do what you need to do to protect yourself and survive. You know, young children tend to dissociate when their carers are neglecting them or abusing them, because they don't want to push the carer away as they're dependent on them. So they find a way to keep the feelings inside and to protect themselves from that pain, so their mind kind of goes off elsewhere. But then that causes problems later, as you can imagine, with emotional regulation. It causes problems with relationships and trusting others, you know, especially people who should be trusted, like a carer should be trusted. And on the extreme end of that, it can lead to things like fragmented parts and DID, or I guess a bit further back on that spectrum, that's kind of going way in on kind of one end. But further back, we've got things like poor self-identity, poor self-concept. You know, we don't really know who we are inside. We don't really know what we stand for, and we end up relying on other people, you know, on how other people see us and how other people respond to us, to have that sense of ourselves. So our sense of selves comes from other people, not from within ourselves, if that makes sense. And that, as you can imagine, causes lots of potential problems. So there's that X again that I mentioned earlier. I don't know what that represents, but there's also like an X on her kind of chest there. I don't know if that's supposed to be connected. Oh. And see, like, both of their facial expressions there looked really, I mean, I don't really know how to describe it, to be honest. Oh God, how many frames was it? Here, like this, it's very neutral, isn't it? Is it neutral? Maybe because I'm just freeze framed. Where's Powders? Powders looks more, I mean, I want to say sad. I'm thinking of the core emotions here. So sadness would probably be the core emotion that's the best fit out of the choice, but it's not really sadness, I don't think. It's like, it's a subset of sadness. It's something more specific than sadness, but I can't quite get it right now. And so taking out the enforcers. You know, that's you know, her taking out the enforcers there. That's the adaptation I was talking about earlier. Jinx protecting Powder. Powder adapting and transforming into Jinx, you know, born out of necessity for protection. That's cool. God, they fit a lot into this. And then that was it. You see the monkey, which isn't a monkey bomb at the moment, thank God, after it just lands on the floor. Although that looks like it could be blowing up there. Right, so what we haven't done there is actually looked at the lyrics, because I was just too completely transfixed on what was happening on the video. There's just too much going on for me to even think about the lyrics. But let's have a quick look. I'm sure if I go to I can just probably Google the lyrics. Can I? Imagine Dragons enemy lyrics. Oh, here we go. This one with Imagine Dragons and J.I.D. Here we go. AZ lyrics. Let me move this so I'll be able to put the lyrics up on the screen as well. So I wake up. Oh, there's an advert. So I wake up to the sounds of the silence that allows for my mind to run around with my ear up to the ground. I'm searching to behold the stories that are told when my back is to the world that was smiling when I turned. I mean, that's a cool line, isn't it? For my mind to run around with my ear up to the ground. It's not keeping my ear to the ground, as the phrase usually is, as in I'm listening out for what's going on, you know, trying to keep up to date with the gossip and the rumors, but it's ear up. Probably because she's, oh God, there's another advert. Probably because she's underground, you know, she's in the underground, Piltover is above. I remember that first, I still see it quite clearly actually, that first episode ever of season 1, at the end of the bridge scene, and you see Piltover almost like towering above, looking down at the bridge. And then this next part seems to be really connected around suspicion, stories that are being told about people, different stories being told behind people's backs compared to what's said to their face. And then And then also, I guess, stories that our minds make up based on mistrust and suspicion. You know, like who do I believe? And it starts, hey, everyone's talking about you, everyone's out to get you. And if you've got evidence for that, then why wouldn't you think that? And I guess that connects with that, the mind running around line. It's like ruminating, like looking out for threats. You know, that's what your mind does. Your mind is there to threat detect and to problem solve and to look after you. So it's kind of mind doing the mind's thing. Tell you you're the greatest, but once you turn, they hate us. Yeah, that's that mistrust again, isn't it? Telling you are great and then slagging you off behind your back. Or maybe worse, maybe not just slagging you off, but actually plotting against you. Oh, the misery, everybody wants to be my enemy, spare the sympathy. There's a cool bit where who was at the end? Was it Jinx said the word spare the sympathy, and then Powder mouths kind of everybody wants to be my enemy. Then there's a chorus, and it describes, I think, what it's like to always have everyone against you, or at least think that everyone is against you. It's miserable, the misery. It's anxiety provoking. You don't know who to trust, who to confide in. That must be incredibly...
Sorry about that.
Oh, that's not a problem, Siri. I don't know where that came from. I muted it, but being very polite there. Sorry about that. Sorry. I'm very sorry that you're feeling lonely. And then there's the look out for yourself, my enemy, look out for yourself, but I'm ready. Is this look out for yourself because no one else is going to? It's saying like, look out, you're the only person who can look out for you. Or I guess it could also be talking to the enemy, like look out for yourself because I know what you're doing and I'm ready for it. Your words up on the wall as you're praying for my fall, and the laughter in the halls and the names that I've been called. God, it's really hard not to try and sing when you read these words because it's such a great kind of melody. I stack it in my mind and I'm waiting for the time. There we go. When I show you what it's like to be words spit in a mic. So I'm keeping track of all of this. I'm keeping track of who is saying what and who is doing what and who is kind of, talking about me, who's laughing at me, who's plotting against me. And just you watch out for when I'm ready, because I will be ready and I'm coming for you. And then we go into J.I.D's verse, which I'm not going to go through this line by line because it was really quick. But man, he's got a very distinctive style, hasn't he? A very distinctive voice. Like I've not heard any of his stuff before, but and he's quite what's the word for when you can enunciate? Is that the right word? When someone says something really clearly and you can understand it? Yeah, I'm conscious that this is turning into like a mega long video, so I think we'll probably just leave it there. But how cool was that? I love the way this video actually fits with the events of the show. I love the way the lyrics reflect what Powder / Jinx is going through, kind of around relationships and trust and dysregulation, and the talent of Imagine Dragons and J.I.D just fit so well together. What a fantastic track. Right, I need to check out more of the soundtrack. Leave some comments. If you're on the Patreon and you see this, then obviously leave some comments. You know how I like making little quick videos of cool things that people have spotted that I find interesting. I go away and I have another quick kind of look at it and talk about it and notice it and kind of enjoy that part of the journey with you, because I think that's what is so cool about Arcane and what I'm experiencing is just spotting these little details, but little details that mean so much and fit really well in terms of my academic practice and my clinical practice as well. Just some of it is just so cleverly done. Right, I think we're there. So I'm going to leave that. Thanks for watching. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.